Early this month, Treasury Department reported it had already issued 130 million payments worth a total of $200 billion. But that still leaves about 20 million Americans awaiting their money.
If you're among the millions of Americans eligible for a stimulus payment who are still waiting for a check, here's what to expect.
Americans had until noon ET Wednesday, May 13, to enter their bank information into the Get My Payment portal on the IRS site in order to get their money by direct deposit. If the IRS has your bank information, it can still take several days to deposit your stimulus payment into your bank account. But it's generally faster than having it mailed to you.
If you missed the May 13 deadline, and the IRS does not have your bank information on file, your payment should be made by check and mailed to you.
The IRS said once the noon deadline passes, it will begin preparing millions of files to send to the Bureau of Fiscal Services to issue paper checks that could arrive in late May into June.
The IRS started mailing paper checks in mid-April, but began with the lowest income recipients. The first week of paper checks reportedly went to recipients with an adjusted gross income of $10,000 or less. Each week, the IRS planned to send a new batch of stimulus checks to eligible Americans with up to $10,000 in additional adjusted gross income.
So, for example, households with adjusted gross income ranging from $10,001 to $20,000 would have had their checks mailed the week ending May 1, and so on. Under that schedule, if you reported adjusted gross income of $100,000 or less on your tax form and are expecting a paper check, your payment should go out by the end of June. If you're in a higher income bracket, your check could arrive in July or August.
That said, the IRS said earlier this month that it expects the number of paper checks being delivered to taxpayers to sharply increase later in the month, which could accelerate that schedule.
Payments can vary depending on income, family size and other factors, but single taxpayers who earned less than $75,000 last year can generally expect a payment of $1,200. Married taxpayers who filed jointly last year and earned less than $150,000 should get $2,400. Parents will also get another $500 for each child under the age of 17. That could add up to $3,400 for a family of 4. For higher earners, the payment amount you're eligible for is reduced by 5% of the amount that adjusted gross income exceeds $75,000 or $112,500 for taxpayers filing as head of household or $150,000 for taxpayers filing a joint return until it reaches $0. Checks phase out completely for those filing a joint return with no qualifying children once adjusted gross income reaches these thresholds. And for those with one dependent, the amount of the stimulus payment would drop to $0 above these thresholds. You can use the Get My Payment tool on the IRS site to track the status of your payment, and get a projected deposit date. The IRS said the information is updated once daily, usually overnight. The U.S. Postal Service also has a free service you can sign up for that can notify you when your check will arrive in the mail. The IRS plans to mail a letter to each recipient within 15 days after the payment is sent or deposited. It will offer information on how the payment was made and how to report any failure to receive the payment. Nope, you don't have to pay taxes on any stimulus payment you receive from the IRS. And it will not affect any tax refund you are due. Related stories. Stimulus check hasn't arrived yet? This may be why. Everything you need to know about your $1,200 stimulus check. The smartest ways to use your stimulus check.